Hello guys, welcome back. Now normally I don't do videos like this on this channel now. I do the gaming tidbits, and that's going to just have the conference like overall Sony and Microsoft individually. But I had to talk about this because Sony found a way to tug at my retro strings today. And it doesn't happen very often that a company, in a weird sense, they things they said were going to happen, or things that have been promised or should happen, happened. I mean, Last Guardian finally happened. Obviously, and a lot of people, for people excited, that's great. I thought the trailer cool. You know, not like I said, not the biggest Psycho fan or anything. I played Shadows Colossus a little bit, but when they announced Final Fantasy VII, now this is of course the greatest hits version on the PlayStation 1, but when they announced Final Fantasy VII, by the way, I've had this one, you know, when it came out, I bought it. We had another version of it too, but it got destroyed over the years, so I don't have a black label anymore. We moved a lot for like 5 years in a row, a long time ago, and unfortunately the case just couldn't handle it. Anyway, Final Fantasy VII. Now, when they originally announced Final Fantasy VII, or there was rumors of another Final Fantasy game after Final Fantasy III came out over here, you know, Super Nintendo, many years ago, I was waiting for another one. Like, you know, it was so high for it. And then I heard it was going to be on Sony. At the time, it was kind of, you know, it was always on Nintendo, and I was kind of upset. But then I was excited for it. Well, what could I do on the PlayStation 1? And for years, you know, for years and years, it seemed like for years that they were teasing that, okay, it's coming. And then finally, you saw a screenshot or something. And finally, when the game showed up, graphically, it blew my mind away. For me, Final Fantasy VII is not my favorite in the series. I mean, I do like 9 more than it. But Final Fantasy VII is memorable for me because, you know, that's when RPGs became king on the PlayStation 1. That was the game that pushed RPGs to a whole new level, and I loved RPGs at the time. And for that, I love Final Fantasy VII. And for years we've heard of remake, and to actually see them show it. You know, now we didn't get to really see the characters, but again, to see that again in up-res graphics, today's graphics looked amazing, right? I mean, that's what makes me interested in it, because it looks so amazing. And yeah, you're gonna have the same game experience, obviously, but it's gonna be obviously look better, and it'll be interesting to go through it again to see how many changes they made, right? Makes you kind of want to try to play through that game again. Really awesome. But then came the other surprise. Now, I did not have a Dreamcast when Shenmue 1 came out originally. I had a Dreamcast really late in the life cycle of actually the Dreamcast. I had the Black Sports edition of the Dreamcast originally. But I eventually did own originally and play the original Shenmue. Which a lot of this isn't. So, people always talk about how Yakuza is kind of the spiritual successor to this game, because a lot of what this game does, it kind of does. But it was originally supposed to be a 7-part series. And to see it only got 2, you know, one on the, obviously Dreamcast, another one on the Xbox, and to never see it fulfilled. And it's one of those games, kind of like Final Fantasy VII, that thanks to YouTube, it has grown immensely. Like, the popularity of Shenmue has grown leaps and bounds. It is like, you know, everybody knows it's out there, everybody knows it is. But it's also a game you had to play at the time to understand how amazing it was at the time. That there was not a game that had the scope and like try to do the open worldness as Shenmue did at the time. It was an amazing achievement at the time when it came out. It also was one of the many reasons that Sega didn't survive that era, because Sega was putting money in a lot of things, the online and stuff that had never been done before, and ultimately it broke them. But now after all these years, like, it was funny, I sit there, I go, and Sony stayed one right after the other, right? Bam, Final Fantasy VII. And then bam, you saw the Shenmue 3. And immediately you saw him talking. Immediately you saw Shenmue. You're like, no, they're not going to, this can't be Shenmue. This cannot be Shenmue 3. This can't be. No, there's no way. After all these years, we're going to finally, 14 years later, we're going to get Shenmue 3. And then to sit there and hear, you know, see it go through 1 and 2, and then see the creator talk. Now, people kind of got upset about the Kickstarter, and I think Sony kind of, I'm pretty sure, the game's not going to cost only $2 million. I'm pretty sure Sony's probably funded a lot of this. I'm pretty sure they licensed this from Sega. And I'm pretty sure this is more like to get the fans involved, because nowhere on the Kickstarter do I see a PS4 physical version, but I'm sure there's gonna be once it gets funded to a certain level. I know right now, actually, as of this video, this very second, let me update. It's moving so fast. Yeah, it's almost at $1 million right now. It's gonna get funded. It's gonna happen, and so that is so awesome. So for me as a fan, I love that. It's this PlayStation 4. It's funny because this E3 has been awesome for all consoles so far. Obviously, Nintendo's tomorrow, but Sony just pulled out that retro heartstring more than the others to be. So, what did you think about the new Final Fantasy VII remake? What do you think about like the new Shenmue gonna happen? I mean, to me, it's very exciting for people who wanted these things to finally get them. To me, this E3 was a win for the gamers. Like, for people who wanted Shenmue 3, now it's time to step up and stop talking about it and get the game. No more talking. This is what I hate about gamers who talk about they love something. Back it up. Don't talk about it, back it up. If you love it, buy it. I'll put a link to the Kickstarter below. And if you haven't seen the videos, definitely go check them out. It's awesome to sit there. It was almost as awesome to see the Earthbound Beginning reveal at the Nintendo World Championships and watching people be excited for that. Anyway, guys, I just want to make a quick video about this. Thanks for watching, like always. And, of course, like always, there'll be a YouTube game community next Sunday. So, see you guys later.